What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, and today we are going to be reacting to Richard Hammond explains what he experienced during his coma after his 310 mile per hour crash in a supercar. Now, a lot of you are probably like, who's Richard Hammond and why should I care? So, Richard Hammond was one of the hosts on the show Top Gear in Britain. And these three guys have been doing the show for like 25 years. They're all best friends, and they have millions and millions, literally a legion of fans that follow these three guys no matter what they do. You know the meme where they go, cheese, cheese, cheese? He's in that circle of these three people. If you're from planet Earth, you've heard of this guy, and he recently woke up from his coma. He almost died like 20 times. And this is kind of a walkthrough of where he went in his coma. So I'm super interested in this stuff. You probably don't care, but that's fine. There'll be some of you who will. And we're going to check this out, and I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Also, if it sounds like I'm slurring my words, it's because it's freezing here, and I just got done snow blowing. So here we go. Oh, beautiful. When I see it on video, it makes me really want to travel, but at the same time, the painstaking efforts it takes to get to this place, is it worth it? Or I don't know.
This is a personal story about places.
I can't believe he's alive. He's literally gotten in 3 crashes that should have killed him. He needs to chill.
About going places in your mind. And I suppose about the power of, well, daydreams. Yeah, daydreams. A long time ago, I was in a coma with a brain injury as a result of a particularly flamboyant crash involving a certain jet-powered dragster. In hospital, intensive care. Things apparently not looking very good, but I didn't know. There was a lot of morphine.
Look at his eyes. Man, he's had an awakening on some front. I can't believe he's okay.
Flowing around my system. I finally woke, and I shared with my wife, Mindy, a dream I'd been having, a really vivid one, probably partly on account of the morphine. And in my mind, I'd been walking these hills here in the Lake District, overlooking Buttermere. I was having a lovely time, strolling along, and gradually I got a growing sense of, you know you're in trouble, when you're a teenager staying out just that bit too late. You're not definitely in massive trouble yet, but you're in a bit of trouble. And that feeling grew and grew, and I walked up this slope where I am now, towards this tree, this exact tree. And as I got closer and closer to the tree, that sense of, ooh, I really am in trouble. I'm going to be shouted, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Grew and grew until eventually in my dream, I turned back. I didn't walk round this tree and carry on. And I woke. And that...
He walked around that tree. Keep in mind, we don't even know if he's been in this area before. His mind is just creating... I don't know. The mind is amazing because it can go places you've physically never been before, and then you can find these places. I mean, that's essentially what deja vu is, right? In your dreams, you create worlds and scenarios, and then permutations of it play out in real life, and you go, whoa, I've been here before, right? So that's essentially what deja vu is. I'd be curious if he's actually been here before. I bet he has, because the tree is so specific.
Dream I told Mindy about. Mindy told me her side of the story because at the same time I was having that dream, she'd been called into intensive care and told, Mrs. Hammond, I'm really sorry, things aren't looking good. All his vitals, they were monitoring everything. I was on full life support and breathing apparatus and the lot. And she was told, It's not looking good, is it?
And the reason this is a big deal is because they kept his condition super, super hush-hush. I mean, nobody knew. I mean, we thought he died in the accident, and then like a month passed, and they're like, oh, Richard Hammond is alive. And then a month would pass, and you'd be like, oh, Richard Hammond is in critical condition. And then another month would pass. Like, it was like worldwide news, front page for a long time.
To lose him. And she said, is there anything I can do? And they said, well, no, not really. And she said, can I shout at him? And they said, yeah, whatever. And she asked, no, I mean really, really shout at him. And she did. And apparently she roared and screamed and swore at me, don't you dare die. And that's when I turned back from this tree in my dream. And that's when I woke. It's true.
Maybe possibly a coincidence, maybe, but that's an awesome story. Yeah. You don't really hear about love like that anymore, or at least the responsibility to be bound to another person. Whether or not they love each other, I don't know. I'm not going to claim I know, but loyalty and commitment are things so absent in our world.
I didn't really come up to this hill and walk around this tree. I was in a coma in Leeds. But my mind did.
So you so he hasn't been there? His mind was here? Oh, dude, we have no idea what we're living in.
And my mind is who I am. I know that very well, having damaged it with a frontal lobe brain injury and spent a long time recovering. And I've taken huge solace from that ever since, because that was my last thought. Certainly at the time. And my last thoughts took me somewhere I love. And
okay, so he has been here before. His last thought was someplace he loved. Yeah, there is beauty in that.
They're unhappy. And that last thought, if I had shut down and stopped, would have echoed as far as I was concerned for all of eternity. And I've found immense comfort from it ever since. So I'm not scared of this old tree. I pass it regularly when most months at some point I'll come up here and walk. And every time I pass it, I do feel comforted. I know it's where I'll go. And it's still here, and I'm still here. But it does speak of the importance of place and the joy of being connected with the place. And I know this is...
Look how happy he is. That's kind of choking me up, man. It's, look. Whew. This is good. Because the reason it's resonating so much with me is, I don't know if this is coincidental or not, but there's a place where I live and a place I regularly go, and it is a tree that overlooks the ocean and the infinite, and it's just a lone tree. So the shoreline is here, and then the woods are back here, and then there's a little raised hill with a big tree that just wraps into the ocean like that. And it's beautiful, and it's true. You do find peace and comfort and happiness when you go there and you look at it. I don't know what that means. Do with it what you will.
Very, very genuinely where I am. And where one day I will be. And one day I will walk around this tree. It's nice to know where it is.
That was great. I'm going to leave it right there. I hope you guys have a spot you can go to and find peace and happiness. Because if you don't, I would recommend finding one. All right, guys. Till the next one. Peace.